the Video Game Town Hall Podcast. It's a website, videogame.town, and I am the host of the podcast of said website, the mayor of Video Game Town, Jared Russo. And here with me today is a man who never punches microphones, Grant Bruner, the editor-in-chief. How are you doing, sir?
Ooh, banana. Having a very Donkey Kong Tuesday.
You almost convinced me that today was Thursday.
Well, we're recording. The schedule is all fucked up.
Not only is that true, but it's one of those like, boy, what a week, huh? Lemon, it's Wednesday.
It's true. It's bad. As we get close to the holiday, things just get worse and worse.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out. I sense another Katie and I recording a nonsense episode. Maybe we'll get some others in the bank as the next several weeks of holiday madness, approach. Although, interestingly enough, not a lot of video games coming out. I think basically 90% of the bulk of the holiday stuff has dropped already. Really slim pickings coming.
We have Kirby and we have Metroid. I think those are we also, like, mixtape, question mark. It still doesn't have a fucking date. What are we doing?
Terminator, the 2D one, which is full price, by the way. Like, it's not like a budget game, even though it's like 8-bit. That got pushed.
By full price? Is that $70 fucking? Okay,
I think it's like
I'm looking here on the
$60.
Steam. Okay, it looks like finally they have pushed mixtape into 2026.
Okay.
Earlier this week, it was like, no, it's still coming out this year, and I'm like, I don't think it's coming out this year.
Yeah, stop lying to the people. We're not stupid.
Yeah.
Well, we are not stupid. And neither are you for listening. In fact, you're so smart, I think you should definitely check out our Patreon and our Ko-fi.
Yeah, Patreon is how you get our bonus podcasts. We do one a month, and so if you like the goofy stuff that we get up to, it's even goofier and looser on the Patreon. I would say I'm pretty strict about editing out the bullshit on the main feed episodes, and I'm more loosey-goosey on the Patreon episode. So if you like loosey-goosey, there you go. $5 a month will get you our bonus episodes.
And $3 a month will get you my bonus articles. Right now they're only about football. Maybe that'll change in the future. Anywho, you might be listening to this the week of Thanksgiving, and I figured it would be a fun themed episode to talk about the things that we're thankful for. Grant, how many things do you have written down?
I have 5.
All right. Then I, too, will do 5.
Do you have, like, a bunch more?
No, I don't. But don't worry about it. I'll come up with them on the spot. I'm winging it.
I'll start. The first one that came to mind was modern saving systems / autosave.
Oh, you stole mine!
So much better than like when you play an old game, you play a game from like the late 90s or early 2000s, it's like, oh, you will just lose like a lot of progress. Like you will lose hours of stuff because you didn't save. Also, sometimes saving was a pain in the ass in earlier games, where it's like you have to wait to get to a save point. Like obviously Resident Evil does that stuff still to some degree, but yeah, saving used to be a huge pain in the ass in video games, and now it just does it in the background in the vast majority of situations, so that it's like the most you're ever losing. It's like, okay, that was 10 minutes. All right, that's fine.
Grant, you stole mine! You stole mine, Grant. I was coming up with ones, I was winging it, and I was like, oh, you know what would be a good idea? Modern savings. And then you immediately said it out loud.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's so much better than... Like, I'm not saying to get rid of manual saves. It's nice to be able to do manual saves.
Yeah.
But having an autosave happening in the background saves the day, like, more often than you would think.
I definitely used both a mix of manual and autosaving in my playthrough of Death Stranding 2, which I beat recently. And definitely clutch when, like, you're halfway through a mission and you're like, oh no. And then you, like,
this went sideways.
The auto saves, and you're like, all right, let me go back to the beginning of the mission and just, like, prep a little better.
Yeah.
All right, my first one is going to be cross saves and cross progression.
Mm-hmm.
A relatively newer thing that both developers and mega conglomerates have allowed us to do. I've used it for Hades 2, Binding of Isaac, I think, is another one of them. Like, there's not too many examples.
Witcher 3 is a really good example.
There you go.
That did that relatively early. And then also the same developer, they do, with Cyberpunk does cross-platform saves.
I wish more people would do it, because there's a lot of things where I'm like, I don't want to have to start a new profile for Slay the Spire. I know that, like, for the digital card games I play, I just sign into my account, so it's all there, so that doesn't really technically feel like a cross-save, even though it's going from a phone to a tablet to a computer. But, yeah, please add more. Modern convenience.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to trick people into buying your game multiple times. Like, oh, I could get this on Switch and have it portable, and it can move over my save. I guess I'll just give you more money. And it's like, surely you will make back the money. I mean, if your game reaches a threshold of popularity, surely it is worth the resources needed to do to do cross save stuff. You spin up like an AWS instance or whatever to slap a save up on the internet and then just pull it down, and you'll make more money by selling 2 copies of your game, right? Like, surely that math works out most of the time. If you're not the tiniest indie dev, if you've hit a threshold of sales, then surely that math.
Grant, what is the second thing that you're most thankful for? Tongue twister.
Difficulty sliders. I feel like this was not a thing when I was a kid, when I was very young. Sometimes there would be like, oh, well, you use cheats, and the cheats are effectively difficulty, like lowering the difficulty, or sometimes even like saying like, you use this cheat and then like your one hit kill or whatever. You can do that too. So using kind of like cheat codes to change the difficulty of the game, and certainly in the cartridge era, I was, and you would also use like not just like built-in cheat codes, but you would also use like a game genie or two. Be like, okay, well, I keep dying in this part, so I'm gonna whip out the game genie and have it so that when they hit me, I won't die. But having that built into the game, where it's like, listen, man, I'm old. I don't want to redo this part because there's so many fucking dudes. Just make it easier for me to get through this, and so I can play through and finish the game. I'm into it. The Souls games are notoriously do not have them. They should. More games should have them. It just makes games better. It allows people of differing abilities or differing levels of giving a fuck, a willingness to meet your game where you want, to actually play your game. And I wish that I would probably have finished a Souls game at this point if they had difficulty sliders, but they don't.
Well, you could always buy them on PC and mod them, but I definitely think piggybacking off of that is accessibility has really ramped up. Like, just the amount of options and not having to like do like rapid button taps. You can just hold the button, or you can skip boss battles, or you can like, there's so many cool things.
Skip QTEs. Dispatch lets you just turn off all QTEs.
Interesting.
That's great. Fuck a QTE.
What would happen if you play RE4 without QTEs? I feel like that'd be a completely different game.
It would be better. I would say it would be better if it just had it just didn't have those in the game. Honestly, especially like I feel like the moment where we had like we were at peak QTE and people realized that they were dumb and bad and to stop doing them broadly was the Tomb Raider reboot, when it was like, oh. And then you just do it again, so you have to watch this fucking cutscene again to do it again, because there isn't like a fail state. Like, you just die and you have to restart the cutscene. That blows. That's not fun. Nobody thinks that this is fun.
Yeah, but some of those like kill sequences are so cool and gory.
Hard pass. So yeah, I'm not a fan of QTs, but accessibility, big thumbs up. Color blindness, Spider-Man games and Last of Us games have been really big on allowing people of varying, like, people with different abilities in sight, different abilities in hearing, all to play the game. My third one, preservationists. There are people in the world of video games who ensure that even relatively obscure games get preserved and remain playable. Often, like, under duress, like, the people who made the game aren't happy about it. There's stuff like, oh, I dumped these ROMs from this old cart or whatever, and that's an important part of game preservation. But there's just, like, a bunch of, like, multiplayer games, online-only games, that are not playable, except that there are people... there are people, yeah. But like, I think like Matrix or like PSO, and like there are games that like you cannot play officially. To as far as the corporation is concerned, you will never play that game again. They don't want you to ever think about it. We wish that you would stop asking us about it. But there are a bunch of preservationists out there that ensure that those games continue to be made or continue to be playable and enjoyed by communities. And I think that's pretty fucking cool.
I'm going to piggyback off of you again and say that not only is all that cool, I think a lot of the work that Microsoft used to do around backwards compatibility is also extremely cool.
Sure.
I mean, you can still play a lot of old Xbox OG and 360 games. Nintendo putting GameCube, on NSO. It's like we're easing ourselves like a little bit away from needing to emulate stuff. But I definitely think that whenever you can offer more value and more games that are playable on modern hardware and modern TVs, it's just convenient. It's just really cool. I'm willing to give these corporations money. Like, I want to play the Simpsons game that came out around the time of the movie. I can't do it. So, like, if you could make that backwards compatible, I will gladly give you my money from my wallet for these things. I don't know how hard of a lift it is other than just, like, rights. Oh, God,
mobile games are particularly bad because it's like, there are 2 Mass Effect mobile games that are just completely inaccessible. They don't, even if you own them, they don't run on modern devices. And that sucks.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that probably, like, what iPhone, what Android, what a graveyard of just, like, stuff that, like, can't run or got pulled or...
Yeah, it's also a huge bummer because it's like, when phones in the West started to be... like have real games on them, I was like, oh man, this is so fucking cool. And then it just kind of like within a couple of years, like I'm talking about like, I don't know, 2008, like somewhere like when the App Store really started to like exist, because it took a little while from once the iPhone existed. The App Store did not launch on that, so it was like 2008, 2009, whatever, something along those lines. And I was like, oh man, this is really exciting having these things here. And then it just became, oh, this is miserable. Oh, this is the lowest common denominator. I don't want to play video games on my phone. This sucks.
You don't want to pay 99 cents for a fake lighter? Or
no, it's fake gambling. It's not even real gambling where you could potentially get real money. It's fake gambling. You're giving them money so that you might get JPEGs or whatever, and that shit sucks. My 4th one is not the same, but it is kind of like in a theme. Digital distribution means older games are still accessible. Specifically, I don't even mean games from like previous generations. I mean, like, I think about in like the GameCube PS2 era, there would be games that I wanted to play on those platforms, and it was impossible for me to fucking find them. PSO is a great example. It was probably like 2002, so pretty early on in the run. I wanted PSO a lot. I wanted it very badly. But I had to keep going to various stores. I probably went to like 5 different stores to try to find a copy of PSO, because it was like, oh yeah, this just wasn't made in like huge numbers. And so they're not keeping the physical stock. And so a game that came out on that platform used to be like, oh yeah, if it's not like a big game or brand new, yeah, you just can't find it at the store, so eat shit. Sorry, dude. When with digital distribution, you can just keep playing those games and, like, be it 10 years down the road, or even just like a year down the road where it's no longer new, where like a GameStop was probably not going to have a copy of this, like, smaller game or whatever. But you can always download it on the store, or you can mostly download it on the store unless they decide to explode it or whatever, which happens sometimes. But wider accessibility of more obscure games, I think, is pretty fucking cool.
I definitely leaned in as early as I could into owning everything digitally and just like not having like any discs. And I guess that sort of segues into my 4th one, which is I'm very thankful for the consoles I have, because they've only gone up in price, and they just have all my stuff from years and years and years of dedicated libraries. I like all my controllers. I like my big ass TV. I'm thankful for the fact that there's a goddamn new Katamari game. Like, just like, we're alive, man, and there's all this stuff still coming out, and I have a Switch 2, and it's cool. Like, I feel like we maybe take these smaller things for granted. Like, I connected my Steam Deck to my television so I could play Megabonk on there. You know? It's wild, man. It's a computer in a handheld. Crazy.
Yeah, you're running Linux, baby. My fifth and final thankfulness in gaming is that third-party controllers are good now.
Oh.
Like, I don't know if you had third-party... I assume you did have third-party controllers back in the day, and they were fucking terrible.
Oh, of course the meme of younger brother using Mad Cat see-through clear. Oh, yeah.
They were really bad. They had bad sensitivity. The buttons would not register. They felt bad. The buttons felt bad to press. Third-party controllers used to be shitty. And now I have multiple 8-bit DOs, and they're great controllers. They aren't just like, oh, well, this is fine. They're highly customizable. They feel very high quality, and they're like really affordable. They're most of the time cheaper than the first party controllers, and they're just as good in most respects. It's awesome. And then also having the ability to do the modding where it's like, you know, if you have accessibility stuff, having great third party tools in which you can kind of like, oh, well, I can't, you know, I have these accessibility problems with my hands. I can't move them in this way. You know, you can customize your own controller, and that shit's awesome. The third-party controller situation is good. We're eating good.
My fifth and final one is you. Video Game Town. How can I not be thankful for this website and all the terrific work you do to help it out? It's a platform for me to make dumb jokes and write silly articles.
Like, it's like the Times Person of the Year is you!
Yeah, we were all the Times Person of the Year in 2006 or whatever.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's very funny. You have holiday plans. You have Thanksgiving plans. Are you doing something? Especially now that you're engaged to be wed, you have to do now. You have to schlep across the country.
Yeah, I'm going to be spending a lot of the next 2 weeks in Chicago, and then a bunch of time traveling in December. So it's going to be a lot of handheld gaming for me, primarily on the Switch 2, which segues into our next topic. I got Final Fantasy Tactics, and I've been playing a lot of that. And it's real good, but it just makes the comparisons to Into the Breach. Like, man, Grant, what if Final Fantasy Tactics was themed around, like, Godzilla, kaiju, mech monster battles, and you could see everything without having to, like, keep rotating the camera or, like, looking up and down, and it was better. That's my pitch for Into the Breach. It's Final Fantasy Tactics, but better.
But is it Final Fantasy, though, which is the problem?
I'm really enjoying what I'm playing, despite, like, the weird small hiccups. Like, I have these dudes, and I give them jobs, and I level them up, and then the game's like, hey, here's a character who's 5 levels better and has this unique job. And I'm like, well, why would I go back to the fucking other guy?
Because you got to get them better to get new stuff.
No, I don't. I can just use... They keep giving me new characters. Like, they gave me Mustardio, the Mechanist, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just use him
but also,
now.
The thing is, you want to keep you want to keep a variety of people, like, relatively, like, well-leveled, because motherfuckers can die, and if you are not careful, you'll be shit out of luck, and you're like, oh, shit, these people are 10 levels behind, fuck, shit.
I mean, I'm trying to get everyone, like, to the same level, but it's like... so that's one thing, and the other thing is that, like, I really like the job system, but there's a lot of... Well, I ran out of, like, JP points, and it's like, well, I guess I'm not buying any more upgrades, so it feels like they're just plateauing, because it's like, I don't have 500 JP points to buy, like, another thing. Like, those are very hard to come by. I don't know, I'm in Chapter 2. I'm assuming I'm, like, a quarter of the way through, maybe more. There was a dude who turned, he betrayed, he was like, I was playing with him, this, like, old guy, and now I'm, like, in a big castle gate fighting him, and this fucker keeps doing this attack where he just lifesteals from me, and Ramza's on one side of the gate, and I'm just like, I can't beat this dude, he keeps fucking doing lifesteal, and everyone else is, like, on the other side of the gate dealing with all these other fuckers.
If you're doing main stuff and extras, the average is 46 hours. So would you say that you're, 11, 12 hours into the game?
Yeah, I guess 10 or 11-ish.
Honestly, I have not played enough of it. I want to go back to it, but it's been a lot of games this year.
It's been too many games. In fact, having watched several video reviews of Dispatch, it makes me even more upset that I'm like not going to be able to sit in front of my PlayStation like soon because I really want to play that game. I want to play it so bad.
Steam Deck. Play it on your Steam Deck. Why not? Why don't I understand why you won't play it on your Steam Deck?
Do I want to play it on a Steam Deck?
Why not? You can't play it on your TV and it plays on the Steam Deck.
I'll just wait until I get back.
Okay,
it feels like watching a season of TV and to play it on the. I don't know.
But
let me finish Final Fantasy.
This is self-imposed. You are doing this to yourself.
There are certain games I don't want to play on a Steam Deck.
It's verified. It runs well. I streamed that game because I had bought it on my PS5, and there were episodes that I just laid in my bed and streamed to my Steam Deck over Wi-Fi.
I'll get to it. It's not very long. It's 1 hour per episode. There's 8 episodes. Is that correct?
Yeah, but thereabouts. Like,
okay.
I think some are longer than others. Like, I think the first episode is probably the shortest of them.
That's a weekend. A weekend in December, I will get to this game. I promise.
Yeah, I would say 8 to 10 hours is probably what it's going to take for you to get through it.
I saw a hot devil lady.
There is a hot devil lady.
I saw a hot blonde. I saw a
blonde
bat guy.
blazer. Yeah,
I saw
Sonar.
Clayface rock monster.
Golem.
I saw a dude who looked like he was just Omni-Man from Invincible.
Phenomenon.
And then it was Aaron Paul.
Girl? Yeah.
And a lady with bangs. She could like make herself multiple copies.
Prism. It's good. It's a good. I even went back and bought the like digital deluxe that has the art book and the comics because I just like, man, you folks did a good job. I want to give you $10 additional.
How high on it is your game of the year? Like is it like?
It's high. It's high. It's not. I mean, it's not. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't go further. But it's high. It's high on my list. So I guess I might as well just talk about it now. The whole game is done now. Since we have last recorded, I played through episodes 7 and 8, and I think that it sticks the landing. I got an ending. And I think it's one of those annoying things that the internet does where they label endings like the good ending and the bad ending and like the true ending. I think all that shit sucks. I think endings are in like a multiple where multiple endings are possible. I think that there is no such thing as like good endings and bad endings. I got one of the it's not like there's multiple ways that a thing can end. It's not like there isn't like just two states or whatever. But one of the things that happened to me is classified as like the less optimal one, but it felt like good and right to me when it happened. So I think that is telling that like it's well constructed in that I got the quote unquote bad ending and I was like, no, this is good. Like, yeah, this checks out. Like, characters are complicated and act ways that you can't always 100% like predict or control. Like, yeah, this makes sense. It's good. I think that it sticks the landing. I think, like, not to say that like it's 100% perfect and there's no things that I would ever change about it because that's just not a thing that I ever feel. But I just think it's great, and I think for me the thing that is illustrative of how good it is that I keep thinking about it even though I already beat it. And I'm just like, man, there's so much more you can do in this setting, and I was like, I want to go back and play it again. I even started a playthrough with my wife, and we played through episode 1 together, and she liked it a lot, and so we're going to continue playing it together. Some of these folks are from the team that made The Wolf Among Us, Telltale, and so it makes sense. We had played The Wolf Among Us together when it came out like a fucking decade ago. And so it makes sense that this is also up her alley. I think it's great. I think it is a contender, I would say.
But it's no Claire Obscure.
I don't know, man. I like them both a whole bunch, and I think when I look at the award show that will not be named, I look at a bunch of the other games that are on their list, and I'm shaking my head. Like, those are not as good.
You know those nominees are out.
Yeah, and I think that shit sucks.
You don't want to talk about
Jeff Keighley. I mean, we can, but I don't. It drives me crazy Lots of things about it drive me crazy. It drives me crazy that people are like, that refer to, are now have like GOTY as like, oh, the Game Awards are GOTY. And I'm like, no, fuck you. It is one fucking place that has a Game of the Year. It's not the GOTY. It is such a bad show, and I hate how much #gamers tie like the culture of video games and the importance of video games into this bad award show.
Grant, but how do you really feel? We also streamed Lumines. It seems like exactly what it is. Like, it seems like exactly what they say it is.
Yeah, I kind of gave it a review. I played through kind of the single player progression of it. I played through that, and I get a rating. Is like, I think it's great. I think it is probably the best Luminous that there's ever been. I am very warm on that game, but it just cannot hold a flame to how transformational the Tetris effect is. Because that takes Tetris and applies this layer of Mizuguchi, like sound and movement and synesthesia, that really elevates one of the best games of all time. And this is just a logical extension of Luminous that is already kind of doing that Mizuguchi synesthesia stuff. So this is just like a better logical progression of Luminous. It is not revolutionary in the way that Tetris Effect was for Tetris.
I still think the most revolutionary Tetris was Tetris DS.
What about it was revolutionary?
They had all these like cool like backgrounds and like game modes, and I think the way that they like the way you held that the DS and the way like that D-pad felt and the hold, I don't know, something about it. Like I don't think I've ever been as good playing Tetris as I was with Tetris DS, which like goes through all these like classic NES games, and like the soundtrack's going, and it uses the two screens pretty. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a homer for it because it was like my favorite. But I played Tetris Effect and I was like, man, this is really cool. I wish I could play it in VR and not throw up. It is more Tetris. It's
Tetris that is synesthetic. It makes you like feel the Tetris. I think that feels good.
Did it make you feel like the Tetraminos? Did you feel like Spider-Man playing Spider-Man?
It made me feel like I was vibing with the Tetris. Like I was part of the Tetris. Like my hands were a logical extension of Tetris.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
I would say I am. Does he do? No,
I'm feeling like a total barnacle.
It's been a long time since I've watched any Spider-Man. Luminous Rise is good, and I don't hesitate to recommend it. If you've ever played a Tetris game and you thought that it was cool, it's absolutely worth your money. Just don't expect it to be revolutionary in the way that Tetris Effect was, because it's doing the Tetris Effect thing on Luminous, which is great. I like Luminous a bunch. It's not as good as Tetris, which is the highest possible bar. It's an extremely high bar. So when I say Luminous isn't as good as Tetris, that's not really like a sick burn on Luminous. It's saying like, oh, you're not as good as like the greatest thing to ever be made. Like, oh, woo. Like, oh, I lost Jeopardy to Ken Jennings. Like, all right, well, you can still be really good at Jeopardy and lose to Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings is the host of Jeopardy now, so you can't really beat him.
Yeah, he's the one who makes the Jeopardies. I have a game for you, and I think this is a banger.
Okay.
I'm calling it Ello, Guv'na.
Hello, Guv'na.
And it is, the premise of the game is you have to decide the names that I give you. Each name is a Final Fantasy character or the name of a governor of Delaware, the state in which I am from.
And that I sometimes go to.
Yeah, so that you are legally a resident of.
Okay, well, considering I don't know any politicians from Delaware other than Joseph R. Biden.
Who's the current governor of Delaware? You should know this, you voted for it.
Cloud. Lightning.
Yep.
Sephiroth.
It's Sephiroth is our governor, it's true.
Kefka.
Number 1. Gunning Bedford. Is that a Final Fantasy character or a governor of Delaware?
There's no way that's the current governor of Delaware.
I didn't say that these are all the current governor of Delaware.
Oh, okay. Final Fantasy.
Wrong. Gunning Bedford is the 11th governor of Delaware, and he was a Federalist. Edward Chris von Muir.
Final Fantasy.
Correct. A Final Fantasy IV party member, the Crown Prince of Damcian.
That was a total guess. I mean, these are all guesses.
David Hazard.
Delaware.
You are correct. The 28th governor of Delaware, part of the anti-Jacksonian faction. The second cousin, 7 times removed, of one Grant Brunner.
Ooh. Now, before we continue, is the current governor going to be on this quiz?
No.
Okay, so who is it?
Matt Meyer.
I've never heard that name in my life. All right, let's continue.
You literally voted and saw his name on a ballot.
You're correct. That's true, but I still don't remember it. But all right, continue. Simeon who?
Simeon S. Pennywell.
God, that is such... Okay. I'm going to say Final Fantasy knowing that I think I'm wrong and that I'm getting duped.
Simeon S. Pennywell is the 53rd governor of Delaware. He was a Republican.
Damn it.
Irvin Kineas.
Final Fantasy.
Correct. This is a Final Fantasy VIII party member, the best shooter in Garden. Adalbert Steiner.
Delaware.
Nope.
Ugh.
It is a Final Fantasy IX party member. He is a Knight of Pluto.
What the hell does that mean?
Joshua H. Marville.
Pluto the dog is in Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. Why is that not a Final Fantasy character?
Makes you think.
Squall.
I didn't pick like Cloud and Squall, the ones you would actually know. Joshua H. Marville.
Delaware.
That is correct. That is the 48th governor of Delaware, a Republican.
Fucking Republicans.
Well, it's a little bit complicated in that, in the 1800s, the Republicans were the good guys.
Yeah, there was a major switch where it's yeah, okay, no, that's true.
So it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah, all right.
Cornelius P. Comegas.
That has to be Final Fantasy, dude.
31st governor of Delaware, a Whig.
Fuck out of here. Probably wore a wig too.
Hope Estheim.
Final Fantasy.
Correct. That is a Final Fantasy 13 party member, a teenage victim of the Purge.
Who's the guy with the chocobo in his hair?
I don't know.
He has an afro. I feel like he has a little chocobo in his hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name.
Oh, you don't know his name, but you know Hope, Vienna, Smith and the Third.
I did look these up, so it wasn't off the dome.
Okay, just making sure.
Gove Salisbury.
Delaware.
Correct. The 41st governor of Delaware, a Democrat, ascended to the governorship as the Speaker of the Senate, and that was before the office of the Lieutenant Governor was established. So if you were the Speaker of the Senate, and the governor died or resigned, you would become the governor. So,
quick tangent. Are you aware that there is a new 4-episode miniseries on Netflix called Death by Lightning about the assassination of President Garfield?
No, but also, you said Death by Lightning, and I'm like, is this about lightning from Final Fantasy 13?
What if they snuck lightning from Final Fantasy 13 into that show?
That's very funny. Ferris Sherwiz.
Final Fantasy.
A Final Fantasy V party member. She's a pirate captain.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. The final one, J. Caleb Boggs.
Delaware.
Correct. He is the 62nd governor of Delaware, a Republican, and he would then go on to be our U.S. Senator. He was then, in 1972, he lost his Senate seat to a young Joe Biden.
Good old Joseph R.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think you got 4 out of 12 wrong, so you got most of them right. Good job.
Yeah, early on I was missing them, but then I started to warm up and figure it out. Man.
Not bad at all.
Grant, do you have anything else left to say to the people listening to this? Anything at all?
Yeah, you should go to videogame.town. Go and see what we've been writing about. Call of Duty, did an article on Call of Duty. I reviewed Luminous. I will have, by the time you're hearing this, I will have some additional thoughts about Dispatch. You're writing a lot about sports. Just a lot about sports.
Well, they released new NBA jerseys. I wanted to get that in. I did a Disney World ride, which everyone who's ever read it has disagreed with it to varying degrees. And people are threatening me with counter articles, but we're not going to publish this because I'm right. And just because I ranked sexy mascots does not mean I'm writing about sports. I'm writing about the sexy mascots.
I I will say, I don't really have strong opinions about the Disney World rides. The only thing that I would probably disagree with you about is like you just like discounted like huge swaths of what counted. Like you said like the Star Tours doesn't get to count.
Oh no, Star Tours was on there.
Thing. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Star Tours is good.
I remember. This was a while ago.
Yeah, Star Tours is number 19.
Yeah, okay. Star Tours is great, and I will just say that Star Tours is really good.
It's under the all bangers tier.
Yeah, Star Tours is good.
Yeah.
Did you say what a small world that was bad.
What I discounted was like monorail or like a train or like those don't really count.
I mean, those are rides. I just don't like. They would probably be in a bad tier in that like they're not exciting.
They're transportation, you know.
What isn't transportation?
A ride, because it doesn't bring you anywhere. It does a full circle and then you exit.
What if you enter and exit in different places, which does happen in some rides?
You know what I mean. Don't twist my words. Yeah, I did group together like basic rides, like ones that spin around or like dark rides, because like they're mostly the same and it's just the theming or like very minor changes. So I'm not going to like put a dark ride like on the bottom and at the very top because they're all dark rides. So I rank them within their own tier and then I move on to a more exciting ride in which you don't just sit there and watch the plot of a movie.
I will say, I think that's probably one of the more controversial things is because I think about like Jenny Nicholson, noted
love
theme
her.
Parkist.
Love.
She's a huge dark ride person, also a huge Avatar person. So like I think that she has like really strong opinions about like that Avatar dark ride, and I think that you ended up giving it like a pretty middling rating if I remember.
Yeah, because it's a slow, boring ride where not much happens.
But look at the cool animatronics.
There's like one animatronic singing Navi, and like that's like the highlight, and it's like, oh wow, they spent a lot of money on these like trees, but like I don't know.
The other thing is like I don't want to blow your mind. Have had an anxiety disorder. So even when I was a kid, and I've only been to Disney World 3 times, twice as a kid, once as an adult. Did not ride basically any rides as an adult, and as a kid, any of the ones that were like actual roller coasters, I was like, no, fuck that shit. It wigs me out too much. So like most of them are like the log flume rides. like the Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever. Like those are the kinds of rides that I was doing because roller coasters wig me the fuck out.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean there are many great rides that don't necessarily need to flip you upside down.
I'm trying to think, where did you Pirates? Did you? Okay, the Pirates you lump that in with dark rides. It is a dark ride. I do think that it's like it's way less cool now that since they've done the Pirates of the Caribbean is like a successful movie franchise.
Johnny Depp's in that ride several times.
That sucks.
Yep.
That sucks a bunch.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is like they keep all of the classic ones. They either get rid of them or they like modernize them. And I'm like, I don't want modern. Like I remember going there in like the early 2000s. They're like, we modernized the Tiki Room. And I'm like, I don't want modern Tiki Room. Give me old bullshit Tiki Room.
Yeah. I feel like if it is like a Dumbo, it's or Tea Party, like that's gonna stay from like the original. But like anything that involves like a show or technology or like it's going to get updated. They updated Test Track. I think they made it worse. From the 90s edition.
I was also really into the shows. Like I really liked like the Muppet one that they just got rid of, which sucks. The Indiana Jones one is cool as shit.
Yeah, I did that recently. It holds up. Good news, bad news. They're bringing the Muppets back to theme a ride. The ride is a roller coaster.
But I want I want the Muppets whatever 3D whatever thing. It was cool. I went there as a kid and I'm like, this rules. And then I went there as an adult and I was like, this rules. Why would you get rid of it? It's so good.
Here's what I would suggest for all the listeners and you. People on YouTube have painstakingly gone on every ride, especially ones that are no longer exist, and they just first-person POV 4K, like, I'm doing this for preservation, so you can watch and experience every single ride or show.
I've done it, and I'm glad that they do. However, it's still not the same as going there and doing the experience with all of like the 3D glasses and the effects that happen in the thing. Like, it's a cool thing, and like, how much could it possibly cost to maintain that? A nickel? You're the biggest corporation on fucking Earth. You are the Walt Disney Corporation. You can't maintain the fucking Muppets show?
Well, to them, it is a better use of their time to get people interested and show up who like a different IP, because there's not a lot of Muppet stuff going around now. So they're like, well, they're out of vogue.
Because they fucked it up and they have mismanaged the Muppet IP.
Well, that's their problem. I mean, I agree with you, but the problem is, like, Universal got rid of E.T., they got rid of Jaws, they got rid of Terminator, they got rid of Earthquake, they got rid of Twister. Because those IPs died, and they had to replace them with IPs that fucking kids know, like Minions and shit. And that's just the way the world works, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're old.
It is, like, one of those things where you're like, oh, well, I already kind of didn't give a shit about Disney World, and then you've gotten rid of, like, one of the few things that I have, like, really warm memories about Disney World, and they're like, yeah, get rid of that shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good to just never go again. Okay,
They did it to specifically piss you off.
I mean, I know that it is not literally me, but it's like, you didn't have that many things that I gave a shit about, and, like, I didn't go on any of because the one time I was there was right before COVID, and it was busy as fuck, and so I couldn't get on any of the new Star Wars World rides, but I walked around Star Wars World. It's cool. There's a big fuck off Millennium Falcon. That's cool. There's a big X-Wing. That's cool. I ate shitty food in one of the cantinas, but it was like you were in a Star Wars restaurant. That was cool. And it's like, okay, that I've done that, and now I kind of like never need to go to Disney World ever again.
Yeah, the one ride that you didn't go on is the best they've ever done. And then the other one is like this Millennium Falcon ride, which is like very disappointing.
Coaxium ?
And blue and green milk. Weird.
I tried them both, and I didn't dislike them, but
yeah,
they made them like a shake of a type, or like not exactly a milkshake, but more like a milkshake. And I'm like, oh, I actually would prefer this was just like flavored milk, like milk, not like a milkshake.
No, it's like a weird dragon fruit, frozen passion drink. Fruit smoothie thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It tasted fine. It's not like it tasted bad. I just wish it was actually like it was more like you were drinking milk, like the fucking movies.
Well, you're also in like the hot ass swamp, mug ass Orlando, Florida. No one wants to be walking around drinking milk.
Ice cold milk? That doesn't sound good to you?
Ron Burgundy in that phone booth. Milk was a bad choice. It's so damn hot.
He's carrying it around. They are serving it to you from a chilled fucking container.
Milk was a bad choice. I like that the
Should I watch that movie again?
Anchorman? Oh, it's one of the best. The soft drinks that you buy in that section, the Cokes and the Sprites, they're like in the little orb grenade that like Princess Leia has when she rescues Han, and it's like that's what you drink out of. That's cool.
But then also it's kind of hard to set it down.
Also true.
Which is, a problem when you're trying to have a drink in a place. You're like, no, you're going to want to hold this. I hugged Chewbacca when I was there. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
It's one of those things that's like funny, like toxic masculinity things, is that we were like, I don't know, what do we do while we're here? And we were like, oh, you take a picture with Chewbacca. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it. Because it was like there's multiple like take a picture with whatever, and of the choices, Chewbacca was like the number one. Like there wasn't another like compelling choice. So we went. I'm like, yeah, Chewbacca, fuck it, man. And we went, and he just like walked up and hugged my wife. And then there's this like, I'm gonna be like, do you want to shake hands? Because I know that like dudes are weird about getting hugged. And I'm like, no, I'll fucking hug you, Chewbacca. I don't have toxic masculinity towards Chewbacca.
Was it like hugging a big dog?
I guess it was fine. It was, obviously, like the person that they have doing it has to be like a big fucking dude, and so, so I don't really hug big fucking dudes very often. So it was, I don't know, it was kind of nice to get like, here's this fucking like really fucking tall person hugging you. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't really have this experience very often. I guess not since I was a kid, where you have like the height disparity.
I mean, I was there somewhat recently, and our group split off at MGM, and I went to Star Tours, and then there was a huge line to meet Darth Vader.
Less cool.
That's cool, but like I'm not gonna wait in line. But I did run into Woody near the new Toy Story section, and Woody was just high-fiving people, and he came up and he high-fived me, and I went, "Hey, Woody, do you have any snakes in your boot?" And he shook his head no, and then he pantomimed taking the snake out and yeeting it across the park, and I said, "Good for you, man."
I do like there's like some things that they're allowed to do. I remember like getting the stink eye, and I try to be like very chill to people, just like who are, you know, working kind of like no matter if it's in a theme park or in just like a regular store or restaurant or whatever. But I walked up and I'm like, oh, in like the Star Wars area, and I saw that they had the like Millennium Falcon dice, and I was like, oh, I bet you guys sell a bunch of those. And the lady's just like, stink eye, like, don't break fucking kayfabe, pal. And I was like, oh, sorry, Christ,
never break it. Ever.
I feel like I wasn't even doing the like, oh, this is fake, pal. And I'm like, oh no, you're just like, this is probably like really popular, right? And I'm just like, stink eye. I'm not fucking even acknowledging your question.
I also saw Doug from the movie Up, and I asked if he had seen any squirrels lately, and he gave me like a, not so much kind of a gesture.
I was hoping you saw Doug from the 1990s cartoon Doug.
No.
Sad. That would be way better.
Pork chop and Skeeter and the beats.
Great. One of the greatest
Patty
to ever do it.
mayonnaise.
Let's wrap this sucker up.
Yeah.
You can find us at videogame.town, and that includes all of the social media that we use, including YouTube, Blue Sky, TikTok, etc. Check us out, and have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.